Now then, well, I thought I'd better put that on because guess what? Today, it's the Nuffle Shuffle. First of all, I apologise. It's very late. I've been very, very busy. But as the tune, if you know him, we have the Season 9 champion hot off the press after his crushing victory of Stuntman DD's Blitzkriegers 2.0. It is the one and only Season 9 champion, Tripperus, and you must be feeling pretty good, Trip.
I'm fine, thank you.
Has your life changed since you've won the championship? Have you got loads more housewives after winning it?
Not really, just Espo. Cyanide refuses to pay me.
They refuse to pay you? I think that's disgraceful.
Yeah.
I think that's disgraceful.
Definitely
After doing all that, I personally think it's because you basically made the final formality. You know, it is in everybody's contract that you've got to make it look tough and take it to overtime, and you just got it done too easy. And
yeah, but I have had a few tough games coming in, so.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, well, like I say, congratulations. It's good to have you on board. My apologies for being a bit late because we was trying to sort something out beforehand because it wasn't going at 6. But hey, we're here now. So yeah, let's get on to it. We'll obviously talk about Season 9 a bit later on, but we have a different team at the top of the table. Gimlick Bloody Swede. Where the hell has this come from? This guy was struggling to qualify with Necro and everything else. He tried with Orcs, tried with Necro, and then he said to me, you know what, Ben, I'm going to try with Undead. I don't know how many days it was, and I got a message saying, oh, by the way, I'm top of the table. And I was like, what, top of Undead? He goes, no, I'm actually top of the bloody leaderboard. And, you know, it was, what was he, the Season 7 champion, Gimlick? And he's going to try and do it again with Undead. Undead have obviously won it before as well, so they've got history in the competition. Let's have a look at his team, Trip, and let me know what you think about it. You obviously know about Gimlick because you've faced him a lot of times before. He has a knack of getting to the top, doesn't he, Gimlick?
Yeah, but
yeah. Begrudgingly giving him a bit of positivity there. Here we go. Let's have a look. Yeah. There we go. Right then, come on, Trip. Tell me. Wait, have you got it up there?
Let me type in first. I was using the wrong box.
Tell you what.
To get in on my screen. I'm not very good at Blood Bowl. So
no,
it takes time.
It is.
Okay, so first things first, it's not a Necro team.
No, it's not. Correct. It is a lie, buddy.
Free strength for grace. Okay, that explains a lot.
Trip, do you think that Gimlick's becoming the new Stuntman DD? Because he gets a bloody lot of stats, doesn't he, this Gimlick? Gimlick's in chat. Hi, Gimlick, by the way. He just seems to get a lot of stats, doesn't he? I think he's the next Stuntman DD.
I really disagree on that.
Oh, you would.
Mostly because of the fact it's not his first or second team attempting to qualify for this season playoffs, and essentially there was a case in the past when Calcium Cass qualified with Dwarfs. And I was really tryharding with that season to qualify with Dwarfs, and like I was losing in ridiculous places, and I was really starting to not play well, getting frustrated, and like Cass just casually strolled. He had great record and whatever. And I think when you talked to him after he crashed out, he said, well, you asked why did he choose Dwarves, and he said he just played for fun, but first skill he rolled was plus strength on runner, and essentially just one lucky stat up early can make a team so much more stable. And I do not know when both guys got their strength ups, but they certainly, coupled with Gimlick's skill, of course, can certainly explain him topping the chart.
Yeah, I mean, he said as well, he just said in chat, the mummy, what had block, he actually rolled double 6 for that as well, but he decided to not take the strength and took the block instead, because obviously it makes it more reliable. So that was a pretty veteran move, I think. I think I would have took the block as well. But
I would have taken strength, but I can't say either way is wrong.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a good team. Let's see what he's got. He's got the Nuffle altar. Why have you got the Nuffle altar, Gimlick? Let us know. 19 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses. Pretty good. Now then, who's he been beaten? Cinemouse, he beat him 2-1 last time. See, this is... Oh, he beat Team Rocket 2-0. That's the top Skaven team. So, this you can tell I ain't played on the PS4 for a lot, because I'm looking at these teams and I'm like, I don't really know who they are. But, you know, it's a very good record, as you'd expect from Gimlick. Unfortunately, he couldn't do back-to-back championships. What would have been absolutely fantastic if he did. Very popular coach, obviously, at the PS4. Obviously, I'm sure he will have high hopes of maybe winning it in Season 10 when it's for the money again. So, does the money bother you that obviously you won the championship but you didn't get the cash? Does that bother you at all, Trip? Is it all about just being champion, or is it, you know, a bit pissed off that there's no cash?
I play for fun, but in general I'm quite poor, so I'd like extra money.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt. But I have played before the money. I played during off season when there was no money, so and it's not what motivates me.
No, it's just nice if you get it, wouldn't it? I mean, the problem thing is though, now you've won it, like there is nobody has ever won it back to back. So obviously we'll have a look at your team soon anyway. Obviously your Norse team. But you know, that is one of those big jinxes you've got to try and, you know, break, because obviously a lot of people who win it the next season, they crash out first round. Again, Gimlick went out first round, you know, the following season. So you've got a lot of stats to try and, you know, go up against. And the thing I'll say to Gimlick is this: congratulations again, this team up here. But mate, do you really want to be top seed? You should know top seed. It's a no. No, you don't want to be top. Let Trip be top. You know, it's cursed. Anyone who finishes top crash out first round. You know, there's only Arzwin who's got past the first round being top seed, and he crashed out the second round. So it really is a big no, to be honest. I would be trying to let somebody else win it. Did you want to say anything else about that team before we move on?
Well, other than that, of course, one has to note those strength ups are not on zombies, but on actual positional pieces.
Yep.
Strength 4 bulk area is a nightmare. Generally, it is a scary team.
Yeah.
In itself, it's a bit bread and butter. Elves would still run circles around them, only one tackle.
Yeah.
But other than that, well, it's a great team coached by experienced coach.
Yeah, I mean, I like the team. Obviously, he'll have regen as well. He's got a dead player. He's got 4 guard. He's got 3 strength ups. The goal at strength 4 with Blodge is extremely nice and a pain in the backside. So, you know, like I said, it'll be interesting to see how Gimlick does in the playoffs if he gets there, because obviously he likes to play Necro. This is not Necro, and they are different type of teams. So, yeah,
but
it'll be good.
Generally, I do not think Gimlick would have a lot of adjusting to do compared to how Necro play, except for the fact that this team is so much more spoiled with strength. But other than that, this team is just as good against Bash as Necro team would be.
Yeah, because like I said, he's got the 2 strength 5 mummies, and he's got 2 strength 4 whites, and then obviously he's got his strength 4 ghouls, so there's a lot of power in there. And he's backed that up with 4 guard, and he's got frenzy as well. Yeah. And so, you know, it's a good team, and you can see why he's rised up to the top. So, It's good. And like I said, there was a few undead teams. I think Arzuin had one, and I think it was iMedia Player had the other one, who was just chilling out, thought it was safe, and then and now they're in a bit of bother because obviously he's come up and got that. I suppose iMedia Player should be safe for a wildcard spot in 4th place, but I think Arzuin has changed tact and gone somewhere else now, so that'll be interesting to see. Because I think Arzuin's like me has never failed to qualify, so we'll have to watch that. I may or may not
Maybe
have
he
rolled
will go
double
north.
Mighty Blow War Dancers. What team are you, Corn? What team are you? Let me know. So, there's a lot of things to talk about this week, more than anything else. Did you see? I'm obviously going to ask you this. Did you see the Calcium Cast interview? What we did, was it yesterday?
Oh. Yeah. It was lovely. You
Lovely.
two guys, you two guys look great together.
Yeah. To be fair, I've always get on with him. The problem is when I beat him, that's when we have this sort of argument. But love or hate him, he does talk a lot of sense, and he is excellent with smack talk. I've had a few people basically since I've done that interview video, they're saying, are you going to be doing any more? And I was like, I don't really know, because Calcium Cast, without trying to big him up too much, he's a bit different to everybody else, isn't he? He is like the pay-per-view. I'm not exactly sure. Would someone want to listen to Trip and me for an hour? What do you think, Trip? Do you think someone would want to, want me to do some more interviews with other coaches, or do you think it should just be one-off with Calcium?
I think in general, the thing you are doing on your shows is pretty much exactly like an interview, but
yeah,
you
that's
have
what I thought. Yeah,
better structure. I do not think you kind of have to. Just with Calcium Cast, you were working as his secretary for a while, streaming his games, and just casual romps. So essentially, it was like a nice conclusion to that.
yeah.
So, but with others, I'm not sure.
Yeah, the thing was, the only reason I did the interview was because I tried to keep a secret from the Xbox community that I was going to get him on the Blood on the Box, the Xbox talk show. But he got, I didn't know he'd gone for a party with his mate in Poland. So I got the message from him the day after I did the show. So that's why the interview came about, because I thought, I want him on, but obviously I'd done the Blood on the Box already. So, I think I thought I'd just do it as a one-off, but if people really want me to spend time with a certain coach and there's enough demand for it, then I probably will go down that route and I'll do it for you guys. But otherwise, I think the Blood in the Box and the Nuffle Shuffle really do cater for the coaches. So there we go. Another thing I need to address is regarding the MML. I don't really speak about the MML on the show, that was in the past, but I've had a lot of messages saying, Benny, new season, are you back? When are you back? What team are you using? Blah, blah, blah. Guys, I ain't coming back to the MML. MML is gone. It's no go. I will never come back to the MML. I think there's more chance of me actually winning a freaking championship, and that's not good odds, than actually coming back to the MML. Me and Preach don't like each other. I think that's the nicest and shortest answer I can give you. So I will not be coming back. I appreciate the well wishes and people wanting me to come back to the MML, but unfortunately that is dead, gone, kaput. And to be honest, I'm having a good time in the Blood and Tears, but I'm struggling to even play there because of obviously all the shows I'm doing in various playoffs and all that sort of stuff. So really at the moment, I'm struggling even to play my private league as it is. But I just want to put it on this show. Me and the MML, it's gone, it's dead, it's never going to happen. I love my time there. There is a lot of great coaches. It's a great league. I just don't like the guy who runs it. End of. So there. So get that negativity out the way and we'll move on. So, I tell you what, Trip. This UC, I don't even know who they are, but UC, I've seen this been popping up. I think they're a Spanish group of some sort. Like the Dave and Gasselmal and Sergel and all these guys. They all seem to be, trying to take over. Arzuin's in it as well. UC. Have you played many of these UC coaches?
I think yes. Well, usually plays also CI. They put well in Silada, of course, environment, but I think they are quite active in Champions Cup. One community I very rarely see in Champions Cup, but who is clearly active on PS4 Blood Bowl are Russians. They do have their league, and they stream sometimes on weekends, but I never see them on Champions Cup.
Fair enough. Right, I've just got your team up here, Radiant Entertainment. I mean, we can have a talk about that in a minute. But obviously,
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, what positional shall we talk about this week? I obviously know you was going to be on the show with me. So I'm going to go Norse, because I know your Norse very well. Now, which one do you think we should talk about? The Ulfa Werner or the Berserker?
I think Berserker is a bit more complex character.
Okay, so...
but we can go all fine if you wish.
It's up to you. It's your call. It's your call. Which one do you want to go for?
Depends what you like. I think offline has more freedom in how you build them for what roles than Zerkers, but Zerkers are a bit trickier to handle. So
Well, go Berserkers then. We'll go Berserkers.
Okay.
Give us a lowdown on this piece, because obviously you play Norse all the time. I have no idea, but let me know what you think. How should we...
At level 1, as all Norse team aside the alignment, he is trashed here. He is not worth his money by a mile. But maybe, well, others generally become good and effective with one skill. I feel Zarka needs two,
Right.
being Mighty Blow and Piling On as his peak development, if you say.
Yeah, because they've got 3 skills though to start with: block, frenzy, and jump up. That's not a bad starting lineup, is it? I mean, how much do they cost?
They cost 90k for that, and they are still 6-3-3-7.
Oh, I've just gone off it. That's useful.
So out of both 3 skills, only block is essentially useful. Well, compared to alignment, you are paying full price for frenzy and jump up. If you'd consider jump up a regular skill, and that is certainly not a good value for base skill set,
Right.
isn't it?
I just don't like the armor 7 and the agility 3 all the time, because the problem I have is when I play Norse is you can never really dodge away safely, and a lot of the times when you do fail your dodge, the armor breaks. So it's always a bit of that's why I like frenzy, because a lot of times you get 2 chances to knock your opponent down. And obviously, like you said, when you got Mighty Blow and Piling On, you can dive on and then jump back up and even hit him again if need be. I mean, this is my favourite piece in the Norse team by far. I think this is a really nice piece. You've got your frenzy, you've got your jump up. I mean, are these typically built one way just to kill?
Like most, if not all, North positionals who can kill. It's the team about killing.
Is that because of armor 7 they're going to lose players, so the only way you got a chance to win with Norse is to take as many of your opponent off the pitch than yourself?
Essentially, yes, and also that way synergize as well with their skill set. Mass frenzy means you will knock players down more times, so you want a Mighty Blow to go with that, and you get Mighty Blow. When you look at Zerkas, they have Jump Up, which has great synergy with Piling On, so you want that.
Yeah.
You want God as well for a team which is supposed to hit, but essentially God on the armor 7 pieces is not something which is really hard to deal with, so to say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's it, isn't it? They're armor 7, and the thing is, I think the thing what I hate most about Norse is the landmen don't get access to strength because obviously guard would be fantastic. They've already come with block, so apart from tackle, I always find what else is there for them to get on a normal roll? They're just not much there. And that's what I probably really dislike. But I do love the Berserker, I really do. But again, I think they're very one-dimensional. I mean, is there any other way we can build them? So obviously, I'm looking at your guy here. He's got jump up, obviously, frenzy block. He's got mighty blow, piling on, sidestep, dodge. Is there any other role we can use a Berserker for?
After you get the Holy Trinity, Mighty Blow, piling on God, because you need all three on them, and it's not really easy to access. You can branch out a little bit. Essentially, other skills allow you some freedom. Generally, you may want stand firm to not getting served after you serve somebody yourself.
Yeah.
You can get. I don't like tackle when you already have frenzy, but you could get that. You could get. Really, at that point, they essentially have the same freedom human blitzers have. Whatever you slap on them is good, but situational, because your first things first, you want to hit with them, and when they do not hit, you want that guard, and afterwards, it's all about just a bonus.
Right. So basically, for anyone who wants to do Norse, the first two skills should be Mighty Blow followed by Piling On. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I do not think there's much freedom in those two skills, because you really want to have some synergy with your jump up.
So let's say, for instance, you've got a brand new Berserker, you roll a double, just a normal double. Would you go ahead and take dodge straight away, or would you forgo the double and just go and get Mighty Blow?
I'd take it because I'm greedy. But generally, in general, it's not bad. You may want also agility as well. If you roll it early, for them to become a little bit more of a receiving threat, and with jump up, they of course are always at huge range. So even prone Zerka is a potential scorer if you like. So dodge helps with that utility thing, even if you are not a good killer until then. And if he becomes better in scoring, which that means he's more likely to get more SPPs that way, and essentially you will catch up sooner or later.
Yeah, I mean, what is it with Norse? Because like a lot of people said they can't use them or they're not very good at playing them, but in the playoffs on the PS4, Norse always do well. Arswin again, with they play about 6-7 games, and he's doing really well with Norse. There's SL Hunter on the Xbox plays Norse extremely well. Why do Norse do well in the playoffs, Trip?
Well, first and foremost, it's really rare to see a Norse coach who doesn't know how to play Norse in playoffs. So that's for a change. It means he's just a little bit higher up of the learning curve than most. And second thing, I think they both play well behind in team value and up in team value. So essentially, there is no exactly bad team value range for them.
Yeah. Oh, way up. Your last game, was against the Dana Rocks, who conceded. Interesting. That's Bears, isn't it? The Dana
Yeah.
Rocks.
I think I retired him with that game.
Oh dear. Now, I'll tell you one thing, what you said to me. I'm going to switch now, because obviously I think people get what you need with the Berserker, but I've just switched on to your team, so we'll have a look at your team. But one thing what you said to me was that everyone was going about how devastating your Chaos Dwarfs were. They won a championship for you. They absolutely murdered the Dark Elves in the final. But you say, whoa, if you think they're bad, my Norse are even worse. They do more. They're more of a killing team. Why is that? I mean, that is an interesting thing to say. Is there a particular reason why you think that?
One thing, speed kills.
Yeah.
And having at least average movement helps a ton. Even size like Nurgle or Chaos, Chaos a bit less when developed, but they essentially have a smaller selection of targets because you have only so many killer pieces. So you have either to be satisfied with some crap to kill, or use somebody to hit who is more juicy target. Also, Norse, at least my team at this point, as you can see, 5 pieces are quite capable on causing damage on Blitz, and of course, Fouling Game with really decent speed is also up to par.
Yeah,
So,
you got the base stand as well.
I think it's mostly speed.
Yeah. So you got the base stand was +1 to injury rolls when their players pushed off the pitch, so that's obviously always helpful. 1960 TV, it's there or thereabouts. You've got, like I say, you got 3 Paladin pieces, 3 guard pieces. Sorry, 4 guard pieces. Your Yeti, you seem to like to use your Yeti a lot. Is that because of just the Mighty Blow and Claw aspect of it, or he's got Frenzy?
Mostly because you essentially do not want him to just be unused. So first things first, you want to park him to have somebody to hit eventually. So
right,
okay. you have to use him at least a few times, and quite a lot of time he is a great wedge player, making gaps in enemy formation. Also, he is a heat magnet, being just armor 8 and Wound Clawed player, so people do like to dedicate resources to getting him out. So
one thing what I've obviously I don't know loads about Norse, but one thing I know what is a bit of a contention is people either like or dislike a thrower. You've gone for a thrower. I know some people just say they're waste of TV, but you obviously think otherwise.
I do not strictly disagree. I consider thrower one of optional pieces. Well, what I like Pro for is like being backup plan. Essentially, he can throw the ball without wasting your reroll.
Yep.
Since day one, and Sure Hands is a skill somebody would have to take anyways. But if you look at his value, just like most of the team, he's a waste at level 1. You essentially pay full price for that pass, but you do not have Sure Hands. And how often do you see Norse passing?
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Oh, it seems we have lost Trip. Let's have a look. Oh, I've left a previous party. There we go. I'm back. I got kicked out of my own party.
Interruption. Which Chaos Dwarf team did you say?
You're the one you've just won it with. The Case Dwarf team you've just won the season now with. Is that a better team than this one?
I think Chaos Dwarf team is a little bit better, mostly because they were more developed by 200 TV. So just based on that, my Chaos Dwarf team had quite a few startups, such like movement, which was very useful when fighting teams you are not supposed to be good against, like elves. But in return, that left quite big gaps. I was very light on guard. I had as much guard as this team has. I was very light on Mighty Blow. I had less Mighty Blow than this team has. And at 200 TV, well, that's why I say this is a better killer team. It simply has so much more kill skills.
Yeah. I mean, I've just got your big effing cannons obviously up on the screen now. One thing, there's 2 talking points about this team when I discussed it with a lot of other obviously coaches. One of them, they wasn't too happy about the movement. Obviously, you've said why you've taken it, and the other one was what is always to do with the Case Dwarf team is the mana. Apart from obviously the frenzy aspect, I agree. I think they're a waste of space. Obviously, the frenzy can put people off going down the sides. That is the only reason why I'd have a mana. I know you've said in defense, if you have a mana, that's one less hobgoblin to have on the pitch. So I sort of get that, but I think for 150 TV, I don't know. I think they're a bit of a. I suppose
it's bad to have a hobgoblin on your team. You have played dwarves quite a lot, right?
Yeah.
How much does it hurt to lose a dwarf on a dwarf team?
It depends. A, how many I've got in reserve, and 2, obviously the game itself. Because every time you start losing dwarfs, big gaps come through. So it would have to depend. But yeah, you never want to lose a dwarf. But
so essentially, the same applies to Chaos Dwarfs. They are even more dependent on their players because they have only 6 blockers who do the utility stuff, and ball centaurs are iffy, especially if you make one a ball carrier, so essentially one less strength access guy to run around, but they need a lot of skills just to be on par with Longbeards in terms of their reliability and
so
essentially same thinking, and the Hobgoblin is a walking liability.
So what you're saying, you take the mana toe, so it's a punching bag, so they don't hit your Case Dwarfs?
Yeah, and it's also an easy source of Mighty Blow, especially if things go wrong. Sometimes you have no luxury in space, positioning, and assist to land blows either way. Let's not forget dwarves are, in terms of strength, a rather weak team. They are just as strong as Norse. Only 2 strength 4 players. A bit more strength access players, but
I can see that.
You always need something else on Ball Centaurs in my head. I do not even consider them strength access guys. So
fair enough. So, can you be the first coach to win back-to-back championships with Norse? How confident are you?
How confident? This team is ready, so I'm as confident as I can be. But you always need luck. Everyone needs luck.
I think that's it, isn't it? You've got to have that bit of luck, and obviously when you do, take it. One thing I want to ask you is, what the hell has happened to Projecki? It wasn't that long ago his Skaven were top, and he's not even on the bloody first page. I mean, like I said, I haven't really been much on the PS4 since, obviously, hopefully, fingers crossed, my Chaos, the Great White Shark, really in the safety in the qualifiers. And he's not even there. I mean, do you know what's been happening with Project's Skaven apples? Because the TV's about the same.
Well, I think one thing is clear when you look at the number of games. I think it's clear he pulled Gimlick's way and just kept playing without any need to play. And I do want to see what shape the team is. Because if they are healthy, that's quite fine.
I tell you what, thank God for that. Someone's got rid of his Stone Vermin claw piece. He's got a strength 4 piece now, but that doesn't bother me. His claw's gone, so I'm happy about that. His rat ogre's got tentacles now. Well, I'm not too bothered about that. He's still got his one turner, so that needs to die. But yeah, it's still a bit banged up. I mean, obviously, I've got a decent record against this team, and the less claw this team has, the better. His rat ogre's only 3 off another level up though, so I'd be interested to see what he gives for that. But yeah, he has been I was really amazed when I think it was Gimlick who said he's not even top Skaven anymore. I mean, he's now lost 15. He's won 36. Oh, dear me, I'm just looking at his records now. I mean, he must have just had a bad run because he's been growing a lot.
In wildcard, I think.
Yeah. But I think, sometimes you can play too many games, can't you? And this time of the season, this is where you see a lot of kill teams. I mean, on the Xbox, it's like the freaking Wild Wild West. It's just kill teams what are just going at it now.
I do not think Skaven is one of the teams who are afraid of kill teams. Essentially, everything is a kill team against Skaven. So.
But the thing is, when you've got he had an absolute top quality team. He was top. It looked like he didn't really have to do anything else with his team, but he just kept playing, a bit like you said when Gimlick did with his Necro. But don't forget that Necro went on and won the championship. But I was amazed that this guy kept playing, and when I found out he wasn't even on the first page, I thought, oh my god, his team must be in a mess. But to be fair, his team's got away with it pretty light. And obviously that claw piece has gone, what's really nice, but he has got a strength 4 instead. But there you go. So
he has natural one turner.
He still had him.
I have seen it.
I think I gave it -1 movement once, but he appoed it unfortunately. But there we go. So, what has been going on in the world of Blood Bowl? There's been there's a lot of discussion, and I'm going to ask obviously for your way on this, because obviously we discussed it on the Xbox and we just got on other things. Obviously the admins are all looking at different things that could bring in for season 11. I'm still waiting to be confirmed there's still cash that but there's a couple of things what they've been discussing. Now I will stress this straight away. What I'm going to say now is not the finished thing. I'm not going to say they're going to do it. It's just been a discussion. The first discussion what came up, and it was a really surprising one, when someone said, do you think the PC should go to 2 minutes in the champion ladder? Well, I was really surprised at that, because I couldn't stand the Xbox, being a console and everything, but I was pretty surprised when they said the PC. We play 2 minutes. I enjoy the 2 minutes. Do you enjoy the 2 minutes? And also, do you think it would be beneficial for the Xbox or the PC to go to 2 minutes, Trip?
I'm a bit partial because I learned the game on 2 minutes. It may have been more beneficial at learning point to have 3 minutes, but essentially, if you want to maximize the speed of the game, 2 minutes are perfect, I'd say. You still have time for some complex thinking, but other than that, you can still do everything you want to do.
Yeah.
And with pause feature now coming with a legendary edition, in case your kid, dog, or bug comes by and tries to disturb you, you can just pause the game, solve the problem, and get back to the game.
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I hope the Xbox try the 2 minutes because they are struggling, and I think the more games they can get on the system, the better. Because I mean, people laugh at me and they think I'm joking, but I've tried to get a game in the last 4 days and I've not got one game. So my Chaos Dwarfs are just like, I'm now thinking, because I can't get the games in, I might switch to my Necro, because I just can't get a game. The only time it seems to be quite busy is like really late, like 11 p.m, 1 a.m. my time, something like that, when, you know, by then I'm just too tired. So I think personally, I think they should give it a go at 2 minutes. I know that Mutt, who is actually a big Xbox player, came to the PS4 and he said, "I love it. They've got to get it on the Xbox because it's so great." And he obviously, his sort of view is really important to me, myself, and obviously when I talk to the admins, because he's been playing on the Xbox all this time, so he's used to 3 minutes, and he's come all the way across to the PS4 and he loves it. And I personally don't think. You know, you try it for a season. If it don't work, you can always go back to the 3 minutes. The other thing what was being talked about was the wildcard spots. Now, obviously, at the moment, the way it is the wildcard spots. It's the next 8, isn't it? Best 8 will get through.
Yeah.
You can only have 2 of each race. You can only have 2 Chaos or 2 Necro. You can't have 3 Necro. Blah blah blah. Now, some of the guys have said, "Hey, how about we randomize the wildcards?" So basically, at the beginning of the season, they randomize it, and they pick which 8 races get the wildcard spot. So it could be Goblins, it could be Chaos, it could be Elven Union. And then the other way they was looking at it was, how about if we have like themes, like all elf races get a wildcard spot, or, you know, like all the good teams get the wildcard spot this season, and then all the evil teams the following season. What's your view on that? Do you think it's a good idea? Would you just prefer it to be the best 8? Can you see any pros or cons in it?
Before that, I'd like to ask, what is the exact problem this solution is solving?
I don't know. I mean, I basically, I know there's a lot of admins who are very, very think it'd be a positive move. I'm probably one of the few who doesn't. I mean, I'm like, well, the way it is at the moment, it's nice and easy. Coaches will understand it's the next 8, so that's good. 2, that means you can play any team you want. So say, for instance, like, I qualified for Necro in Season 9. Now, if we didn't have the wildcard spot as it was, there's no way I would have tried to catch Gimlick. Because even though I finished above Gimlick, there's no way I'd have even attempted it if there's just the 1 spot there. And I think if you're saying, "Oh yeah, well this time there's a wildcard spot for Goblins and Halflings. Oh wow, yay! We get 2 Halfling teams. Oh yeah, fantastic. That's really a waste of a freaking space." You know, because we've seen it. We've seen it this season. Sorry, in Season 9, we saw the legendary teams really crash and burn. There's some really good ones in there I honestly thought would do really well. I think the Goblins got beat 6-1. 6-1. Do we want more Goblin teams? I think it'd make it more of a farce. I really do. But it seems like it could happen. I don't know if anyone in chat would like to say what they think of that. I mean, I know some people in chat already know what you thought about it, but to me, it's like, if it's not broke, why are we trying to fix it? You know, it's like we're already gonna have 1 of each race, so we've already got the variety already there. Why should we force coaches to play a certain race? I don't like it. I really don't like it. I think it should be the next 8 up. You know, I like the rule where you can only have 2 of each race, so you don't end up with 6 Chaos or 6 Skaven or whatever. So that's already covered. So, you know, I just don't know. I think sometimes people just get bored and decide, you know, well, we'll just change them for the hell of it. And I think for the consoles as well, we don't want to lose people. It's sorry for the PC because they've got shitloads of coaches. I just think it'd be a bad move myself personally, and obviously Trip, I wanted to know your thing on that. So you would I say you're not for it then, or? Oh, he's gone quiet. Are you still here, Trip? Or have you just left me?
Oh yeah.
So yeah.